Hello, my friends, and welcome to Where Wendy Creates. Today we are making this beautiful man cave quilt. Ha! And my friends, we were going to do a really quick 3-hour quilt just using our 10-inch squares, but I think we have decided to add the sashing because we needed it larger and we wanted to put a little bit more quilting precision in it. It's not necessary, but we're going to go ahead and show you how we do the quilt, and then when we turn our thoughts and decide to add sashing, we're going to show you the beautiful color choice and go on through the quilt. Yay! We are making a man cave quilt. And my friends, we're going to do it fast. We're going to do it happy. And looky, we are going to do it in 10-inch squares. You can too. How long is this going to take? Shall we say a 3-hour quilt? I'm excited. Okay, my friends, we have laid out all of our 10-inch blocks to make our man cave quilt. And now we're going to go ahead and put our rows on it. We are doing
change of plans. We're adding sashing.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 10-inch blocks. So when we look at our 7 rows, we're going to go ahead and put our labels on each of our rows. And then we can pick them up 2 at a time and begin stitching them together. So your first is collecting the fabrics. Number 2, laying them out. 3, marking your rows. And 4, we get to play. We're going to sew them together. So if we're using our 10-inch squares and I put a 2.5-inch sashing around, how we're going to do this is we're going to line up all of our 10-inch squares. We're going to cut all of our sashing width of strips, width of fabric, 2.5 inches, and then we're going to go ahead and cut them down into 10-inch. So if we were to go with our original figure of 5 across and 6 down, we would need, that's 30 blocks. I would need 30 minus the 1 on the side. So 30 minus 6, I would need 24 of the 10-inch strips. But we're going to go ahead and increase that because I really want this quilt to be about 85 by 95. So to do that, we're going to increase our blocks to 6 across and 7 down. And that's going to get me more in line with the numbers that I'm looking for, plus my 2.5 minus my quarter inch on each, so my 2 inches that'll show in between. So we have 6 times 7 minus the 6 is what we're going to cut into our 10-inch strips, and then we're going to do across the entire bottom, and then we're going to add another row and another row until we have them all. Then we'll do 1 along the sides, and then we'll do 1 across the top, and we will be complete. All right, let's get going. And we want sashing to go in between all of our 10-inch blocks, so we are cutting 2.5-inch strips to go as our sashing. And we are putting the sashing in between our blocks on our rows, and our quilt is really, I think, popping. What do you think? Hit that comment button. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I am loving this man cave quilt. And we are looking at our 10-inch man cave squares with our beautiful sashing. And now we're going to put the sashing on both sides and go on with our borders. So we are making great progress. And I'm very excited about this. We've just put it off of the iron, and I cannot tell you how this really pops once it has been ironed. So this is absolutely stunning, absolutely gorgeous. We still have our rows listed. It is really good. And guess what, my friends? We managed to put all the blocks up right. Isn't that awesome? Alrighty, my friends, so we are ready to put on some sides today. Woohoo! Okay, so ignore my red little blankie, and this is what we're going to do. We have our block, we have our sashing, we have the sashing border, we have a small darker border, and then look at this. We could not have had a better selection than this pine cone. Sylvia, you are ingenious. That is just absolutely perfect for this man cave quilt. I'm loving this. It is so earthy and yet it's so outdoorsy. It's not too much and it's really bright and pops with that blue. That is just, I'm so excited about this quilt. And just like that, my friends, our quilt is complete. We chose our 10-inch blocks according to what the person likes and their hobbies that we're making the quilt for. And then we lined them up in rows. We made sure our colors did not clash nor had too many of the same color in one spot. We put our sashing on one side of each of our blocks. Then once we had our blocks in a row, we put our sashing in between the rows and then added our next and our next. Then we did our sashing on the outside, sashing on the bottom, sashing on the top, and then we selected and definitely fell in love with our border, which brings it all together. And when we do all of our measurements, we're coming out with an 85.5 by 95 inch quilt. We've measured on both sides and in the middle, and then lengthwise on both sides to get accurate measurements. And because Sylvia had her hands on this, it was perfect. All right, my friends, so now we are complete with our man cave quilt. I hope this will inspire you to make a man cave quilt as well. Whether you're using sashing or not, just remember when you use sashing, it adds a little bit of complexity as well as a little bit of beauty. Takes a little bit longer, I would say double or triple your time, and then it also increases the size of your quilt, so that is a great reason why to use sashing. I am loving this. What do you think? Hit that comment button. I would love to know your thoughts. And when is the last time you made a man cave quilt for some of the men in your life, my friends? Have a great day. Thanks for joining us today. Have a wonderful day. Hit that subscribe button. See you again real soon.